So whenever I first started looking at my schedule and saw that I had U.S. history one, I really was excited. I thought it was going to be an easy A, honestly, but the more that I thought about it, the more interesting that it became because then you're talking about George Washington, you're talking about the native peoples whenever they actually had power. One thing that's super fascinating to me, and I think it kind of ties into the second question, is the Monroe Doctrine, which I watched a movie about all the U.S. presidents, and that is basically James Monroe, who's the fifth U.S. president, and that is what he's most remembered for. That's not the only thing he did. He actually did a bunch of other things, but the Monroe Doctrine is something that even now in 2025 is still relevant, which is absolutely insane. That's 200 years later. But the US is still trying to get out of European affairs to this day and still trying to exert power over the Americas, which is pretty astounding. A couple things that I hope to get out of this class is a better understanding of slavery. I think that a lot of people, like, we never really go over it, in at least in the history classes I've had before. And I just don't think that, like, yes, slavery was terrible, but I don't think that I am responsible for it. And I'd like to get down to the actual bottom of it and see, like, what actually happened. Like, one of the things I just read in the textbook was that Africans were enslaving Africans and we bought them from them, which kind of is what I thought. But just that, definitely I want to see how it goes from, like, kick the can down the road to how does it finally just boom in your face? Is it just gradual? I think that's what it is. That's what I think it is. But that's something that I really want to get to the bottom of, as well as I really want to know about the early presidents, particularly George Washington, of course, but Thomas Jefferson and then James Monroe, because the Monroe Doctrine is very good. And I don't know if you guys cover Alexander Hamilton, but he is a very cool historical figure. So, yeah, I would love to definitely learn about all types of things. The War of 1812 is going to be fun to learn about, where they burned down the White House. Yeah,